Hey YouTube, this is the Robinhood Investor. I hope you had a great week of trading. As always, I really appreciate your support. So if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. And if you want to learn about investing, subscribe to this channel. Today I'm going to talk about my Robinhood portfolio. Currently, I'm at $183,275. I've gotten messages asking how much I started with and how long it took me to get to this amount. To clarify, I started my portfolio a little over 3 years ago with a couple $100. And back then, when I opened my Robinhood account, I didn't have much capital to deposit in this specific account. But since then, I've been consistently adding to this portfolio week after week, increasing my holdings in value and growth stocks so I can build this source of revenue through dividends and capital appreciation. Scrolling down a bit, looking at the cryptocurrencies, I'm still holding my Ethereum position and not selling. I have more in my Coinbase account. It's an extremely volatile and speculative asset class, so I'm not buying more, and I'm just going to continue holding. So looking at the stocks I own, starting with an ETF, Vanguard ETF, S&P 500 ETF. This tracks the index and has a very low expense ratio. It also has very high liquidity, high volume. This is a very large position in my portfolio and pays a 1.95 dividend yield. I plan to add more VOO in my portfolio just so I can continue to have exposure to the markets. Next is VGT, Vanguard Information Technology, which tracks the technology sector. It also has a very low expense ratio relative to its technology ETF competitors. And it's also a very efficient way to diversify in the technology sector. It's also a fairly sizable position in my portfolio. Next is Schwab Large Cap US ETF. So it's very similar to VOO, but it's just under the Schwab brand rather than Vanguard. Next is Spider S&P 500 ETF. This is also very similar to Schwab's and Vanguard ETFs. All right, first stock, Apple, ticker symbol AAPL, consumer electronics company with their primary source of revenue through iPhone. It's a very good dividend growth stock. Warren Buffett has a huge stake in Apple. And as Apple continues to buy back shares, I think it's going to increase its earnings per share. I also have a 6% diversity in my portfolio with Apple. I plan to slowly add more shares to my portfolio. Next is Alibaba, ticker symbol BABA, which is an e-commerce company. It's one of the largest retailer in terms of total sales. There's no dividends. And this is my Asia Pacific stock. This is one of my Chinese stocks. Next is Visa, ticker symbol V. This is a payment processing solution company. It's dominant in the rest of the world outside of China with 50% market share of global payments minus China. This also pays dividends, and I think it'll do well in the long term as consumers continue to spend. Visa takes a cut out of the transaction. Next is Microsoft, which provides enterprise and consumer business solutions, including Windows operating system, Microsoft Office Suite, and Azure Cloud Computing. This is also a very good dividend play, and I think it's a good long-term hold. Next is Alphabet, which is the parent company of Google. Ticker symbol GOGL, which is Class A shares, versus GOG, it's Class C shares. One has voting rights. This one doesn't have voting rights. All this one does. and it dominates the online advertisement space. Some of the products include the search engine, Google search engine, the Google Chrome web browser, as well as YouTube. So they generate revenue through providing online ads through these different products. Next is Amazon, which is one of the larger e-commerce platforms in the States, and it's one of the largest internet retailers in the world. Amazon dominates over 50% of the e-commerce space, and I think this is a good long-term growth stock. It doesn't pay any dividends, so they're reinvesting all profits back into growth. Next is Boeing, which is in the aerospace and defense industry. It's one of the largest global aircraft manufacturers and one of the largest defense contractors in the world based on revenue. I think it's a good dividend play. And in light of recent news, with the two 787 Maxes crashing, it definitely affected the stock price, but I think it's still a good long-term dividend stock. Next is NVIDIA, which creates GPUs for gaming and also does visual processing for cars, mobile computing, and data center. I think it's a good long-term stock to hold as NVIDIA dominates the GPU space. Next is Johnson & Johnson, which is they're in the medical devices, pharmaceutical, and consumer goods space. Its well-known consumer products include Band-Aid, Tylenol, Johnson's baby products, and Neutrogena skin products. Also a very good dividend play. Next is McDonald's, which is the world's largest restaurant chain by revenue. It's also a very good dividend play. Next is United Health. It's doing well providing healthcare products and insurance services. Recently, it took a dip from 286. Now it's down to 222. As you can see, it's been trending upwards, but recently it took a dip, and this is due to some potential changes in the regulations. Next is Tencent, which provides internet-related services and products, entertainment, and artificial intelligence in China and globally. This is another Chinese stock that I think is a good long-term growth stock. Next is 3M, which is a conglomerate company that makes a wide variety of products, including adhesives, protective equipment, medical and dental products, electronic materials, car care products. This is a very good dividend play. Next is Home Depot, which is in the home improvement space. I think this is a good long-term dividend stock, even though it plateaued ever since last January. Berkshire Hathaway, which is the holding company led by Warren Buffett and wholly owns Geico, Dairy Queen, Fruit of the Loom, and partially owns Kraft Heinz, American Express, Wells Fargo, Coca-Cola, Bank of America, and Apple. And Warren Buffett continues to increase its holdings in bank stocks, as well as airline stocks. Next is Facebook, which is the parent company of Facebook, Instagram, WhatsApp, and Oculus virtual reality. I think this is a good long-term stock to hold. Next is PayPal, which facilitates online payments and money transfers. Its subsidiaries include Venmo and Braintree. This is a long-term growth stock that I think will do very well in the long run as they continue to grow their user base. Next is AT&T, one of the largest telecom companies. They provide mobile telephone services, fixed telephone services, and I think it's a really good dividend play. I think their current dividend yield is 7. And it's also the parent company of the mass media conglomerate Warner Media, making it the world's largest media and entertainment company in terms of revenue. And some of the property that they own includes the DC Cinematic Universe, HBO, so like Game of Thrones. So they're definitely growing in terms of their media side of the company. Costco, which operates membership warehouses selling a variety of products, including the Kirkland private label brand and other products. Nextera Energy, which is in the utility sector, provides electricity and other sources to consumers. This is seems like it's a very low volatility stock, trending upwards. It's also a good dividend play. Next is PepsiCo, which provides food, beverages, and snacks. I like PepsiCo more than Coca-Cola just because it's more diverse in terms of the products they provide. Baozun, which is the Shopify of China, provides e-commerce solutions and services. And there's actually a lot of US brands that use Baozun to have a presence in China, including Nike, Microsoft, Panasonic, Honda, Starbucks, just to name a few companies. Next is Baidu, which provides internet-related services and products, as well as artificial intelligence. It's kind of like the Google of China. Activision Blizzard, which is the largest gaming company, and makes games like Call of Duty, Destiny, Overwatch, Warcraft, and StarCraft. I'm going to continue following Activision Blizzard as the gaming market is growing, but also becoming more competitive as other companies like Apple, as well as Google, provide their offering. Next, Taiwan Semiconductor Manufacturing Company. This is one of the largest semiconductor manufacturers. iQIYI, which is an online video platform similar to Netflix, but it caters to the Chinese market. Constellation Brands, so it provides beer, wine, and spirits, and it's the largest beer import company by sales. And it has a lot of brands under its portfolio, and they have a large stake in Canopy Growth. So that's their big bet on the cannabis industry. And I think I think they're gonna infuse cannabis in drinks, and the fact that they're already in the beverage industry, it's they already have a lot of infrastructure in place to distribute the product. NetEase, Chinese technology company, and develops China's online PC and mobile games. They provide advertising services, communication services, and e-commerce platforms. Next couple ones are ETFs that are sector specific. So Vanguard Consumer Discretionary, Vanguard Healthcare, Vanguard Industrials. Next couple ones are just ETFs. iShares S&P 500. This is very similar to Spider, S&P 500, Schwab, as well as VOO that I mentioned earlier in this video. And last but not least is Vanguard Mega Cap Value ETF. So I'm going to scroll down slowly just so you can see the entire portfolio again. VOO, VGT, some of the ETFs, Apple, Alibaba, Visa, Microsoft, Alphabet, Amazon, Boeing, Nvidia, Johnson & Johnson, McDonald's, United Health, Tencent, 3M, Home Depot, Berkshire Hathaway, Facebook, PayPal, AT&T, Costco, Nextera Energy, PepsiCo, Baozun, Baidu, Activision, Taiwan Semiconductor Manufacturing Company, iQIYI, Constellation Brands, and NetEase. And I'm also looking forward to some of the earnings this week. Some of them include tech companies like Microsoft, Amazon, Facebook, Visa, and some other companies include Procter & Gamble, Intel, and AT&T. So looking forward to this week as some of the companies report their earnings numbers. So that's all for this video. I plan to continue holding these stocks and ETFs and buying more stocks, preferably a good balance between dividend paying stocks and growth stocks. And I also plan to increase my cash position. Currently it's at $12,907. But I want to get this to 20,000, possibly even 30,000, so I can easily buy when there's opportunities to buy. That's all for this video. What moves are you making in your portfolio? Comment down below. Remember to use my referral links below, and both of us get $20 for using personal capital or free stock for using Robinhood. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. And if you want to learn about investing, subscribe to this channel. See you in the next video.